Everyone, it's great to see you. Today, I want to talk to you about reading to your children or to your classroom of little ones. There's a lot of different ways that we recommend reading aloud. Sometimes we read just to sit back and enjoy the story and take it all in, and that is perfectly fine. Sometimes we read trying to point out certain words, enhancing vocabulary. Sometimes we read to really foster reading comprehension and ask a few pertinent questions as going through the reading and seeing if your child is following along and understanding what's going on in the story. So I'm going to share with you a book today, A Spoonful of Frogs. This is a 2022 publication written by Casey Lyle, and I think this is just adorable. This book is great if you want to be practicing some of those reading comprehension questions that you can ask and just slip into the reading to see both if your child is following the storyline and to reinforce the idea of inferencing. Now, when you infer something, you take the information that the author has explicitly given you and you sort of make some deductions from that. It's like having your child be a detective. You read, and what else can you tell about this character? Or what else can you tell about this story that the author might not have quite put in the words, but gives you lots of clues about? So let's see how this would look with a spoonful of frogs. A witch's favorite treat is frog soup. It's easy to make and healthy too. Start by placing your cauldron over the fire. Oh my goodness, look at this picture. I'm noticing a couple things. Here is this witch, and she has her cauldron. She sounds like she's going to be cooking, but oh my goodness, look on this side of the page. I can tell that there's another person there. What does that person have? And either your child is going to know that that is some type of recording device, a movie camera, or you might have to let them know that, oh, you know how I record things on my phone? Well, if you were in a TV studio making a TV show, there would be a big camera and a cameraman. This looks like she might be making a TV show. Fill it with water. Add a pinch of salt, a sprinkle of pepper, and 22 cloves of garlic. Chop up 6 potatoes, 3 carrots. Toss them into the cauldron. Mix in a cup of fly extract. Oh my goodness, this witch said this was her favorite kind of soup. What do you think she might like about this soup? And hopefully your child would say, oh, well, she put a lot of garlic in there, 22 cloves. She must really like garlic. Or maybe we know that she likes the potatoes and carrots because those are in the soup too. The last and most important ingredient is a spoonful of frogs. This will add a kick of flavor and a pop of color. Place the frogs on the spoon. Oh, what happened in the story? The author didn't put it in words, but I can tell that something has happened here. In this picture, I see the frog on a spoon, but over here, the frog has jumped up onto the witch's hat. Grab the frogs and put them on the spoon. Get the frogs, put them on the spoon. Find the frogs and place them on the spoon. And at this point in the book, this is a great place to say, to you, is this cook having an easy time putting a spoonful of frogs into this soup or not? Why do you think she's having trouble? And actually get your child to reference the text. Well, the author tells us she keeps grabbing the frogs, putting them on the spoon, and they jump off, and then she does it again and they jump off. So I know she's not having an easy time. And this book goes on with more of the witch trying to get those frogs. Oh my goodness. And she is really, really determined. We have pages of her trying to catch these frogs. So this is another place that we can infer from what the author tells us some things about this witch. Well, let's see. What do you think about this witch? How is she acting? Oh, she really wants to make the soup. Yeah, there's a special word we use for that. It's called determined. When you're really determined to do something, you want to do it and you stick with it. Oh my goodness, I can tell that this is a very determined witch. She is going to get these frogs. And then we have a picture of, oh no, the frogs have now moved out the window. But because our witch is so determined, put the frogs, she's chasing them. Oh, and you know what? We were right. From that first picture where there was the TV camera, look, it says TV studio here. So you inferred correctly. She was making a cooking TV show. Put the frogs on the spoon. Wait, take a look at the picture. They're in a showdown here. Put the frogs on the spoon. Oh, I love how the author wrote that page. She wrote it with periods so that you pause. I can tell that the witch is just waiting to catch those frogs. And then slip frogs. Pickles. Oh, I think the author is telling us on this page, pickles. Now your child might make a guess. They might say, I don't know. And that's okay, because as we're reading along, the author gives us more and more information. Well, let's find out why the author gave us pickles on that page. Pickles are an acceptable substitute for frogs in this recipe. Add a spoonful of pickles, stir well, bring the soup to a boil for 1 hour, and then serve hot. Oh, I love that. So we didn't end up with frogs in the frog soup. We ended up with a substitute, pickles. This is a great place. Oh, you know what? The word substitute, that's when something takes the place of it. So we're not going to use frogs. Instead, we're going to use pickles. Enjoy with friends. And there she is with her frog friends eating the frog soup, which really is pickle soup. Oh my goodness, so much that you can do with a children's book. Don't feel like you need to do it all at once. We know that children love to come back to their favorite books. So maybe one time through you talk about a couple of vocabulary words. Maybe another time you read this the first time and you're predicting what's going to happen next with a few strategic questions and you're inferring like I did. Maybe after reading 3 times, you decide you're going to do a summary together. Oh, let's think back about the most important parts of this book. Who's the character in this book? Oh yeah, the witch. The witch, what did she want to do? She wanted to make frog soup. But what kept happening to her? Oh, the frogs kept escaping. The witch wanted to make frog soup, but the frogs kept escaping. So, well, she tried to catch those frogs. Then they got out of the room and she fell in the pond. Finally, She substituted pickles for the frogs. So you have a real simplistic way of summarizing and going through that skill and talking that through is so important. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.